Sometimes it's nice to look at movies that aren't perfect, that won't stand the test of time, and might just be forgettable. I think it can also highlight that the difference between a great movie and just a good one often comes down to little details or creative decisions that take us out of the movie's universe. After watching Carryon with my science goggles on, I think this film fits that description. It's a piece that is entertaining throughout, but probably won't be on a yearly watch list or stand the test of time. Comparing this film to what was obviously its primary influence in Die Hard makes that clear. And the most frustrating part of this film were the simple, easily fixable issues. The issues that should have been obvious from the dialogue script and storyboards that were built before filming ever began. Welcome to my channel. I'm Travis, and today we're talking about Carryon. And warning, there are massive spoilers for this movie ahead. Now, Carryon's biggest fixable problem is consistency through and through. In every film we watch, we expect the movieverse's rules to be followed. Anything that does not follow the rules that the film itself sets out for us will cause our immersion to break. We're okay suspending disbelief from the real world, but asking us to forget character motivations from your own film is lazy writing. Now, we start this film by learning that the main character's girlfriend moved across the country for a big job. The film visually shows us that her job is important by elevating her above the entryway and the unwashed masses. This is an intentional directorial choice. And then, over the course of the film, she is on the ground level doing jobs that don't appear to be at this level of elevated importance. And from the standpoint of us, the observer, it feels like she's at the front of the airport simply because it moves the plot forward in a specific way at a specific time, and not because it matches what you've told us about the character's story or motivations. Contrast this to a film like Die Hard, where Holly has an important job doing important things, giving her access to a big private office. This is the premise that provides the base motivation for her moving away from her husband and family. This office is also the reason that John McClane was able to escape the initial hostage situation and trigger the rest of the events of that film. In Die Hard, this felt like an organic, natural sequence of events, but in Carryon, it left me thinking about the writer and the script while I was watching the movie, and this is incredibly immersion-breaking. It's a small thing, I know, but small things go a long way in making a film believable and immersive. The most frustrating elements of flaws like this is that they're easy to fix. Provide a different motivation to the character, maybe a sick family member off screen that she moves to take care of, or add dialogue that explains a short staffing situation. To spend actual screen time showing us that she's important only to throw that fact away because of plot convenience feels lazy to me. And I know that the writers had a plan. There's enough foreshadowing in this film that it's hard to believe these writing blips were the result of a rushed script or other production issues. I was actually impressed by the level of cohesion in all of the foreshadowing. One of the better examples of foreshadowing that came across as subtle and elegant was a sequence in the beginning of the film, where our character is running late for work, and in order to speed through the airport, he takes backroom shortcuts through various hallways, baggage claims, and sorting facilities, eventually to the taxiway itself. This foreshadows one of the end of film sequences, nearly location for location, and I really like this detail. These locations felt familiar, and it brought the end of the film full circle with the beginning. And while subtle foreshadowing can feel really good to an audience, I do think this film took it 9 steps too far. It felt like every major plot point had a foreshadowed component that was shoved in front of our faces. And the main problem with ham-fisted foreshadowing is that it makes the film predictable. If every single thing framed on screen hints at a major plot point, then by the midpoint of the movie, the audience can tell you how it ends. There are movies that subvert these expectations in fun ways, but this movie was definitely not one of them. If I had to guess at what this movie was ultimately trying to accomplish, I would probably say that it was attempting to be this decade's Die Hard. So much of this film follows the major plot points of that series, but it fails so spectacularly to understand what made Die Hard good that it feels like a bad fanfic more than a cohesive movie that stands on its own. Die Hard truly nailed the dialogue. The script was tight and the lines were delivered perfectly, never venturing into cheesy territory. It kept the film grounded around characters that we learned to like. I mean, compare these clips from the two movies.
Why the fuck didn't you stop him, John? Because then you'd be dead too, asshole. Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs. I'm not the one who just got butt fucked on national TV, Dwayne.
Say, Stephen, we're gonna play a little game that I like to call
Put it in a bin.
Put It in a Bin.
I'm not going through that machine so you and your perv buddies can take naked photos.
This is real?
Oh, hell if I know. He's been acting all sus all day, talking to himself.
Airports turn people into such dickheads.
Now, I don't think the script landed like the authors wanted it to, but the way this movie was shot did provide some really cohesive visuals. I particularly enjoyed the way that many of the shots throughout the film were framed like an airport terminal or an airplane, in a boxed-in, somewhat claustrophobic type of feeling, which also reminded me quite a lot of the iconic air duct scene from the first Die Hard movie. Now, overall, this film was very watchable and mostly entertaining, but I felt like it didn't respect my attention. Everything was ham-fisted, lazy, and in your face. It felt like bubblegum action rather than a movie with actual stakes. I never once felt like the protagonist would fail, which cheapened the experience of the film for me. The ending to Carryon implies sequels, which are hopefully improvements upon this film, because I can see a series of action movies fitting in this universe. Anyways, thanks for joining me. I'm Travis. Like and subscribe for more discussions about film and to support this channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.